before we start, we have an answer to the pool reporter question. The question was, the initial call on the penalty kick awarded to San Diego appeared to be for a free kick outside the 18-yard box. Was that the initial call, and if so, why was it changed? The answer was the referee called a foul for San Diego, and the assistant referee then confirmed the location of the foul inside the penalty area. That's what they got. So, all right, and we have defender Amber Brooks, forward Ashley Hatch. Jason, want to kick us off?
Congrats. I feel like it's been a while since I said that before or after a game. How's the feeling after this one? It's completely kind of a bonkers game from kind of start to finish.
Yeah, relief. Obviously, it's been like 3-4 months since we won and on this field. So, yeah, after conceding a goal first, going up, but we knew, unfortunately, we've had a tendency this season to let goals in the second half. And so, yeah, it was just a lot of relief when Hatchie slotted it in and the whistle blew.
Amber, I have to ask, have you ever scored a header even remotely like the second one there?
No, not like that one. I scored.
She's been practicing though.
Yeah, I scored decent amount of headers. I think most of my goals in this league have been headers, but not quite one as acrobatic as that is.
He's awesome.
Steve?
Ashley, what was the level of pressure or maybe anxiety on this team without a victory for so long, and then getting to this point today where you're up, but then you allowed 2 second-half goals?
I mean, we've been wanting a win for a while, and we've kind of been in this slump for a little bit, so I think we just needed to finish out the second half, and even when they tied the game, I still feel like we had that belief that we could finish off the game with a win. So yeah, it came down to the very last minute, but I'm proud of the team for pushing and making it happen, so happy to finally get that win.
And given the situation of the match, deep in stoppage time, and to step up for a penalty kick, what's going through your head? What are your nerves like? What's that situation like?
I mean, we practice those situations every day. I practice PKs every single day at practice. So when I'm stepping up, I'm just going through my routine and stepping up and just putting it back in the net. So I was grateful that team gave me the opportunity to step up and put the game away. So yeah, it was good.
Amber, you have a question?
This question is for Ashley Hatch. First of all, congratulations for your 100th game.
Thank you.
If you had the choice to always win against an easy team or always lose against a hard team, which one would you choose and why?
Wow. I don't know. That's a really good question. I hate losing, but when you're always winning against easy teams, you don't get better. So I don't know if I can answer your question. What would you say?
I mean, there are no easy teams in this league, so I'd
that's
say
true.
every team's a hard team on the day, and yeah, getting any win, whether it's relatively ugly like today, or you have a shutout, they all count for 3 points. So.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Andre?
Hey, Amber, yeah, congrats. 2 goals. It's awesome. I just wanted to know, like, when you're up 3-1 and then it goes to 3-3, that's not an unfamiliar position, of course, like for the team. So what were you thinking, and what were the changes from last time that you kind of recognized on the pitch from last time in those moments to where the team was able to fight back and actually get a win from a position like that?
I think we just know that we have the weapons to score and get a win. I mean, we could have easily been ahead by a few more goals, I think. So I think the belief's always there that we can score with the players that we have in midfield and up top. Just, realizing we need to score, we need to get the ball up, but also not change so much from our game plan because it was working relatively well. So yeah, that balance of pressing for a goal, but also not like changing the way we play and just trusting that we've got forwards like Hatchie and Trin and Tara that then could put it away in an important moment.
And for you, Hatch, that first goal was Rodman to you, to Sanchez, to McNeil. Was that like, we've been kind of like waiting for a link-up like that. Was it finally good to put something like that together?
Yeah, I would say that goal definitely felt good. I think we can definitely do that more, and I think the more all of us touch the ball, the better that will be, and the more goals that we'll score. So yeah, I was happy about that one.
Steve?
Ashley, what was it like with a new coach and the game plan, the mood, the vibe
Yeah.
with this team going into today?
Albertine's been great. Us national team players have only had 2 trainings with him since we got back, but he's got a lot of energy, a lot of belief in us, and I think that really bleeds into our training sessions and our preparations. So it's been really good, and I'm happy that he's here helping us out.
We got one more, Jose?
Amber, you kind of mentioned the game plan. Like, can you elaborate a little further on what the game plan was in the first half to keep with San Diego off balance, especially in attacking? Seems like they were very limited on opportunities.
Yeah, I mean, we knew offensively, like, they wanted to play pretty direct. You know, obviously, we thought Korniak would be starting, and she's deadly in the air with those flick-ons to Alex, as you see. Even, like, their second goal off the PK started from a longer ball from Sheridan. So we know that they like to play relatively direct, whether it's coming straight from the keeper or their outside backs looking forward for first and second balls. So we needed to be aware of that with the first. And then the second balls, I thought our midfield did a really good job being close to the back line and picking up those second balls. And then offensively, we knew they were susceptible around the outside backs, especially with the pace that we've got up top and kind of those diagonal balls. So, you know, versus kind of pushing it through the middle, we're looking to more get around them.
All right, Jason, last one.
Last week, after the Houston game, Andy and Aubrey both said something to the effect of this season, and obviously so many adverse moments, difficult moments, but maybe trying to have an attitude to sort of just roll with the punches and overcome them anyway. Today seems like a kind of a perfect example of that. How is the group feeling on that front of, like, you know, the calls that maybe didn't go the way, there's some physical play in the game, and yet, you know, 100th minute, you end up getting the goal to win the game, when this season the 100th minute goal has kind of gone the other way?
Yeah, the NWSL is crazy. That's all you can really say. You have to play it out until the final whistle, and yeah, you never know what you're going to get. You never know how, you know, the refs are going to be on the day, how your team's going to be the opponent. So really just playing with what's in front of you. And, you know, today I thought we had a little bit more belief and a little bit more structure that enabled us to keep pushing. And yeah, I think, you know, all season long, like, you know, I've been on quite a few teams now, right? And this team by far, there's no reason for why we've had the season that we've had with the players that we have top to bottom. I really truly believe this is one of the best teams I've ever played on. And so I think it's just been one thing or another, and we haven't put together complete performances, and this was probably not a complete performance either, but we got the points, and that's what it comes down to in this league at the end of the day. This is whatever you need to do on that day to get the 3 points.
All right, thank you, everybody.
Thank
you, Amber.
you.
Thank
Yep.
you, Ashley.
Good stuff, Amber.
We'll have interim head coach Albertine Montoya up next. Oh, if you wouldn't mind, that'd be great. Jab, we good? All right, we have interim head coach Albertine Montoya. Steve, you want to kick us off?
Albertine, congratulations.
Thank you, Steve.
I know you're new here, but obviously this team has been going through a tough season. How much of a relief was it for them, and imagine for you as well, to finally end that drought?
I think their celebration at the end explains it all, because they've been going through quite a bit. And this week, the energy has been outstanding at practice. And I think that's why we won the game at the end. They had that belief in themselves. Obviously, it's a very talented team. But that belief and energy, positive energy, paid off at the end. And that was the difference today.
Jason?
Albertine, congrats.
Thank you.
It looked like you were kind of living the game that's going on down there. I did want to ask, yesterday I was at training for a little while, but we didn't get to see all of it. Was playing Jordan Baggett deeper than we've seen her all year? Was that a look that you thought of like right away, or was that something that kind of developed in your since you got here?
So actually, it wasn't necessarily the plan, it's just how it played out today, because she's still an attacking midfielder for us, an 8 or a 10, and that's what the game dictated a little bit. In the first half, I thought she did it very well in covering the ground and being in the right spaces. In the second half, then we were defending for a while, so it obviously pulled her back a little bit, but it's just the way the game played out today. But that wasn't necessarily the plan.
And then just kind of on that note, this team has had a lot of last 20 minutes where they drop. Today that started to happen. What were you trying to do to sort of get those lines pushed up and maybe defend a little higher up the field?
Screaming a little bit from the sideline, yelling, praying. No, I mean, it's a very talented team, San Diego, and that's their weapon. They look to play direct, and it's just about the timing and the high level of concentration from the start to the finish. I thought in the first half we did a much better job with that, but as the game wears on and, we get fatigued a little bit, we started showing signs of just a little bit mental lapses. And that's something that we'll continue to work on so it doesn't happen, because when we have a 3-1 lead, you want to keep it. And obviously, if anything, it's put the game away. So it's just a matter of time where we continue working on it and just understanding the roles and responsibilities a little bit better. Yeah.
Amber?
I know you've coached U17 college and professional soccer. How would you describe your coaching style, and do you change your style based on the age group that you're coaching?
Oh, that's a good question. The one thing I try to bring all the time is just an energy and a belief. And one of the things I told the team at halftime is, look, sometimes you're going to get the tactics right, and if you do, you're going to be successful more often than not. But if you don't, it's about just the energy and the belief and working together as a team. And it was difficult in that second half, but they did. They just kind of had that positive energy, and that made the difference. That's what I do in club, in college level, national team, and it's a combination of that positive energy and then good tactics, which hopefully will continue to show in the next few games, because one of the things I do enjoy is keeping the ball. We defended a little bit too much in that second half, but we'll continue working on it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Andre?
Yeah, definitely congratulations on
Thank
that first win. First win for the Spirit in a while. As the game played out, you're up 3-1, as you mentioned, and the Spirit get into, for the Spirit season, a familiar position of now it's a draw suddenly, and you're kind of hanging on. Was there anything specific that you told the team or any players out there to say, hey, don't let this happen again?
Well, it was just every time it did happen, and they would look to the sideline, it's just like, hey, we have to keep fighting. We have to have that spirit, no pun intended, but it's just you have to have that belief, and we worked on it in practice. We talked about it. So things aren't always going to go right, and obviously they went very well in the first half, but in the second half we got ourselves a little bit in a hole, and it could have gone 4-3 for them, but no, that's the difference at that end. So it was just anytime they looked to the sideline, it's, hey, we got this, right? We're in this together, and we don't have a choice.
And for the first goal, I wonder, because we talked to you before the game, you talked a lot about working on relationships, and I think that first goal was a combination that we've been wanting to see from the Spirit so much, but it was like what Rodman, Hatch, Sanchez,
Yep.
Guillaume. Is that something that you were really emphasizing in your limited time with all the players?
Absolutely, and we need more of that. It's all about relationships and trusting each other and knowing where the space is and where they're going to make runs, right? But it's, again, really a trust and a belief that your teammates can do it and that they're going to be there. And hopefully, as we go on, you'll see outside backs getting in the attack, and then the 8 and the 10 making runs in there. But yes, that is something that we're going to strive to bring every time to the game.
Thank you, and congrats.
Thank you.
Jose?
Congrats on the win.
Thank you.
Kind of piggyback off of that, you only had limited time with your national teamers. How did you see their performance, and what do you want to improve on what you saw on their aspect to get them to play the style you want to play?
So it's, again, the relationships that I just touched on. I only had them for a couple of days, and when Andy comes in, she's going to also add another dimension to us. But it comes down to understanding where they're going to be on the field, and I believe that they can support each other and be dangerous at the same time. So it's just relationships. Yeah.
Jason?
Speaking of Andy, what is her status exactly? I saw her, no knee brace at training, but it's kind of unclear what exactly the issue is and how long she might be out.
So we're not expecting her to be out all that long, and she suffered an injury to her knee, but it's not serious at all with the national team, and we're expecting her to start training this week with us.
And then kind of the other side of that, Julia has been out for a while with the injury. She comes back today, plays an hour. How do you think she did, given the, I'm not sure, 6-7 weeks that she was out?
I thought she was outstanding, and the plan was only to play her for 45 minutes. And after talking to her at halftime, she said she felt great, and it was important for us to go back into the second half, having her in the midfield, which allowed Dorian to warm up a little bit longer and kind of get into the game. So Julia was very good for us today, and I was happy for her.
All right, thank you, everybody. Thank you, Coach.
Thank
We'll
you.
see you next week.
Thanks, Albertine.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks again.
Thank you. Good job.